Welcome to Theme Park Island, where I aim to create immersive, fully working rides which can all be done with no mods. Today, I'm creating a ghost train, which shall travel through an abandoned American diner where no one has left alive. So as always, let's enter the park and let's build our next ride. This ride is going to be themed around something truly terrifying. Set in an abandoned American diner deep in the desert, the location was shut down years ago after a food scientist's latest experiment in flavour enhancement went horribly wrong. What was once hailed as the best tasting burger in town turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare. Diners expected a main course, but they didn't expect to become the burgers. It's believed the burgers eventually died out from starvation following the government's containment program, as human blood was the source of their food and their insatiable hunger. With no activity detected in the past 50 years, authorities now consider it safe to collect evidence of the horrific events that transpired. While it's unknown to them that the burgers have indeed mutated, so they can hibernate until their next victim enters. So to bring this concept to life, I first started by creating the main diner building itself, and went for that kind of rustic style, kind of like metal building that you see in kind of like the retro diners in America. I then added some red and blue strips going around for that neon lighting effect. And then to finish off the main structure, I started to add a white domed roof on top, and then started colouring some of the interior walls. I then built a little extension at the front, which is going to be the entrance to the ride. So with the main building done, I then moved on to creating all of the outside scenery, and this is going to be set in a desert. So I focused on making this place look really dry and just run down and just abandoned, adding stuff in like dried out bushes and trees. So here is progress so far. So as you see, we have got the main American diner building all done here. And as you see, I have set this diner in an abandoned kind of like desert area. I think that will just add to the horror of this ride. But as you see, at the minute, this just looks like a normal diner. So now it's time to add a little bit of character to it and make it look all abandoned and haunted. But to do that, I just destroyed a lot of the stuff which I already built. That included just denting the walls, adding some cobwebs, and just making things look like they're fallen off. There was something very satisfying about this process. And then for the cherry on top, I added the massive mutated burger monster on top of the diner there. I tried to make it look as scary as possible. I love how I use the little drip stones to give it really big teeth. So as you see, the diner is now looking very haunted and run down and just, well, abandoned basically. Apart from this cute burger up here. Look how cute this burger is. I'm just kidding. That burger is terrifying. But yeah, this diner definitely looks like it's seen better days. So the next job is to plan the layout of the main ride, which is going to go inside here. So I'm just going to start building up all the different rooms and planning out the track of where the car is going to go. So to start off, I just started marking out where all the different rooms are going to go by just making a little plan on the floor there. And then once everything was marked out, I then started to decorate all of the interior details by adding all of the different coloured walls and all of the floor. As you see, I'm going for that classic American diner look here with the checkered floor. I then started to add all of the details for the interior, so adding stuff like the stools, the leather seating and the jukebox. I then moved on to some of the other rooms, such as the toilets and the scientist's office where the food enhancement experiment went very wrong. And then finally I added all of the details in for the main kitchen area. And then once all the details were put in, I then started marking out all of the track for where the minecart is going to travel. And there we have it. That is the interior of the diner all done. If only that was the case, because at the minute, this diner looks, well, not very scary. It just looks like a normal diner. And I've also managed to add all of the track here, where the guests will travel through this very, very memorable diner experience. But yeah, it's now time to transform this diner into an abandoned, just the most horrific place on earth, basically, where burgers eat you. So let's get transforming. So here's a really fun part of demolishing the diner. So I was doing all sorts here. I was moving chairs, I was destroying the seating, I was adding cobwebs, putting dents in the floor, and of course adding all those little mutated burgers in as well. I also had a lot of fun destroying the scientist's office, where the experiment went horribly wrong. But imagine being those poor chefs who were cooking in the kitchen when the burgers mutated. I mean, that must have been terrifying. And there we have it. The diner now definitely looks like it has seen better days. I mean, imagine walking in here now just to see a corpse on the floor. And as you see, we've got the rotted away burgers scattered around the whole diner here. And as you see, these burgers were once alive and eating people. So to finish up all of the interior, I just need to add the roof and add a lighting system, as well as get all the queuing systems done as well. And then once that's all done, we can then move on to starting to plan and make all the special effects for this ride. So for the lighting system, I filled in the roof with some black concrete and then added some glass and some redstone lamps on top. I then added some command blocks which will power the lamps on and off at the same time. And then finally, I added in the queuing system. So here is the working lighting system here. I just done this by using field commands to place and then destroy redstone blocks on top of those lanterns for a light flicker effect. So as you see, as I go in the restaurant here, even after 50 years of it being abandoned, somehow the electricity still, well, kinda works. Next up, it is now time to start creating some of the characters for some of the jump scares in this diner. For this, I am going to be retexturing a slime and a zombie. The slime's going to be one of those mutated burgers, and the zombie, which is currently dying now, is going to be the mad scientist who basically caused all this food mutation in the first place. So first I started retexturing the slime as a mutated burger. I tried to make this burger look as evil as possible. I gave it some big teeth and kind of like some ketchup blood and just made it look really angry and aggressive. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I think it looks pretty terrifying. I then moved on to the food scientist, who is now a ghost because he did die. And he's going to be warning the players to get out the diner before they become the burger's next meal. So with the textures done, as you see, we have got this giant mutated burger, which is quite terrifying actually. Oh, it keeps coming towards me as well. And we've also got the zombie textured now as the food scientist ghost who used to work at the diner. For an extra touch, I've also added some ash into the interior here, just to add to that kind of like spooky atmosphere. I've just done that while using a repeating command block with a particle command. So with all of the scenery all built, it is now time to start adding in all of the different haunts. So here you can see all of the haunts that I've planned, and some of them are pretty wild. I mean, one involves a burger jump scaring you out of a toilet. Kind of crazy. Implementing all of these haunts took quite a while. It took a lot of command blocks, but I'm really happy with the end result of them all. And I use lots of different commands for this. I use the particle command to make the blender suddenly turn on. I use TP commands to make the burger monster look like it's attacking you. I also use the play sound command for some terrifying monster noises. So I'm not going to show you how to recreate all of these commands at the minute, but at the end of the Theme Park Island series, I will be doing a separate video covering all of the different mechanics that I used in the rides. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, with all of the taunts put in, it is now time to ride the ghost train. Now I didn't want to give away too much in this video, but I will warn you now, there are quite a few jump scares that might terrify you. So just a heads up before we enter. Okay, so let's enter the ride here, and because I own the park, I'm totally just going to queue jump. And if we head inside, and if we could get ourselves a minecart, and then place that down, and then just sit in the minecart, and it's now time to enter the diner. Well, that was quite a unique experience, that's for sure. And there we have it. That is the Last Bite Ghost Train, all complete. I'm really happy how this turned out, and it's the perfect ride for the Halloween season. And you know what's kind of crazy? We've only got one more ride to do until this island is done. And I can now reveal that the next ride is going to be some type of giant roller coaster. So I really can't wait to build that. But yeah, so until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next ride.